Welcome to Week 9 in the Gainbridge Super League. The stage is set for a Thursday night showdown between Lexington SC and Fort Lauderdale United, the last two undefeated teams in the league. Shea Moyer is making her first start of the season tonight, one of the few returners on this Lexington squad from last season. She has 1 goal on the year and continues to be a leader in year 2 for the girls in green. On the other side of the pitch, it's Ella Simpson. With 2 goals already on the year, head coach Allie Rogers said she's been phenomenal for us, and they'll need even more of her production tonight. It's Lexington and Fort Lauderdale in a clash of the unbeatens coming up next. Lexington SC Stadium is the site for this evening's Gainbridge Super League showdown between Lexington SC and Fort Lauderdale United. Alongside former Kennesaw State and UCF defender Jade Barquette, I'm Bridget Howard, excited to be with you all this evening. Well, we're still so early into the season, it's really hard to believe it's Week 9 already, but Jade, tonight's matchup means more. Whoever wins tonight will be catapulted into first place in the standings.
These two teams meeting earlier in this season, it was a draw there. This match, so much riding on it. Both teams coming in with mindsets that are ready to go. Mentality is going to be a big part of this match tonight.
Let's dive into this Fort Lauderdale group. They're unbeaten in their first 6 matches, and it has everything to do with the way they've been able to capitalize on their opportunities in front of goal. 7th in the league in shots, but 2nd in conversion rate.
They're so disciplined in front of net, and they're just so explosive up top, mostly to this lady, Kiara Locklear. She's just so explosive in front of net and does so well at converting her chances into goals.
Yeah, well, you said it. You can't talk about scoring goals without mentioning Kiara Locklear. Allie Rogers telling us she doesn't have to have a rookie mindset this season, and it's showing on the pitch as she scored 4 goals already this season to lead the group.
And her hard workingness outside of possession is what makes this Fort Lauderdale team even better. When she's working back and helping them defend, it creates those transition opportunities at net.
Well, for the home side, they've been at their best on their home pitch. They're undefeated on the year, yet only have 2 wins through 7 matches, something that head coach Misaki Hemi told us they're not necessarily happy about. But at home, as you can see here, they've got the job done. They've scored 9 goals, conceded only 2, while picking up 2 clean sheets. Well, Lexington brought in some of the best talent around the league to bolster their offense this year, and they've shown up on the stat sheet, whether it be Addie McCain, Mackenzie Weinert, Amina Ekic. They've got stars all over the pitch contributing.
And it's the way that they build up. They're finding each other in higher points on the field. They pick up their heads. They're unselfish in front of net, and they just know how to finish. With a leader like Addie McCain up there, it's hard not to.
Yeah, Addie McCain knows a thing or two about this Fort Lauderdale side. She spent last season on the squad and will face off with them for a 2nd time this season. Get this, 6 of her 14 career league goals have been scored in matchups between these 2 teams.
That's so interesting, especially since that was her club last season. When the ball falls to her feet, she finds a way to put it away. That's what you need out of a forward like her.
So tonight's question is this: will Lexington convert their chances and hold strong defensively against Fort Lauderdale's relentless attack, or will Fort Lauderdale's offense firepower prove to be the difference? Either way, we're in for a spectacular showdown of the final 2 undefeated teams in the Gainbridge Super League. Stay tuned. Kickoff is coming up next.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story, leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gamebridge, graded assists for your savings.
Lexington SC and Fort Lauderdale United gearing up to kick off at the state-of-the-art Lexington SC Stadium. Two teams who played to a 3-3 draw back on August 23rd to start this season will get another look at another one here this evening. All right, well, let's take a look at the Lexington lineup. Catherine Berry out, Shay Moyer in. She's a huge part of this culture for the girls in green, making her first start of the season tonight.
Another move, Ekich coming into that central part of the field from outside, from that wide area, using her pace to turn and run at goal in this match versus Fort Lauderdale.
Amina Ekich, she can do it all, whether she's out wide or moved in centrally like she is tonight. Certainly look for her to get in on the attack and continue to facilitate things offensively for Lexington. All right, for Fort Lauderdale, a couple of changes for them. Lily Nabet making her third start and Kelly Van Treek back in the starting lineup.
Another move, Shania Gordon has been moved permanently to that outside back position. Allie Rogers in our call earlier this week talked to us about that change, saying that she is one of the best lockdown 1v1 defenders in the league, but she also can initiate that attack from the outside.
Yeah, she definitely highlighted initiating the attack. Another player on this Fort Lauderdale team that is synonymous with this Fort Lauderdale attack is Kiara Locklear. Getting a look at her now. She has 4 goals on the season, tied for second in the lead. Looking to add to that goal-scoring resume this season here tonight. Lexington in their purple and pink kits, Fort Lauderdale white tops, blue bottoms, and we are underway from Lexington SC Stadium. Former Kennesaw State and UCF defender Jade Barquette, Bridget Howard with you this evening. Lexington gains possession first. Amina Ekich cuts it back inside. Serves it out to Moyer, who gets a touch. Throw-in coming for Fort Lauderdale. So Fort Lauderdale moving from right to left on your screen. Lexington from left to right. And Jade, we can already see here, maybe a little bit challenging for Bella Hera in net for Fort Lauderdale. As you can see, half the field is in the shade. There's some sunlight there at the end of the pitch, though.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. With the sun coming down just about this time, hopefully by the end of the first half, it's a little bit easier for her to see. But for these players also in the air in that corner, long balls might be an issue for the back line for Fort Lauderdale.
Bella Hera getting her first touches of the evening, the San Diego native, making her 7th start of the year. 18 saves so far. Shania Gordon moving it up on the far side, gets picked off by Lexington. Kat Asman, tied for second in the lead with 4 clean sheets. Works it around the back line. This ball is played out of bounds. All right, tonight's keys to the match are presented by Toyota. Jade, what do you have for us?
Lexington, they just really need to finish their chances in front of net. When they get all the way up into the 18-yard box and do the work, can they convert those to goals? And then for Fort Lauderdale, that brick wall of a back line who's done so well this season so far, can they just keep pace with Lexington's forwards and really stay connected as they travel higher up the field?
So we'll get a look back at what happened here. Looks like McCain just went a little too hard into that tackle on Lily Nabet, the Angel City lone. So a restart for Fort Lauderdale. Well, you mentioned our conversations with head coach Allie Rogers. She told us the keys versus Lexington for them offensively, they have to be clinical in the final third. And their entry balls also have to be on point, knowing how good that back line is for Lexington, and defensively, they just need to win their individual battles. But the offensive piece really hasn't been the problem for Fort Lauderdale this season. They haven't had too many problems, honestly, all season long. 12 goals this year, tied for third in the league.
3 words that she told us from that call that stood out to me: battle, fight, and trust. Battle in those 1v1 moments, fight for one another as the ball gets higher up the field, win your duels, and then trust in one another. Trust in the game plan that they're putting out each and every second, and then those goals will come like they've been all season.
You're a defender at Kennesaw State, UCF, and you've got a keeper that is this confident and comfortable playing off of her line. Does that make you excited? Like, what type of emotions does that elicit for you as a defender?
It definitely gives you confidence, but you also know you have to keep the ball.
This ball trickles forward, was targeting Shania Gordon, but the offside flag is raised.
You saw right there how high Shania Gordon was up the field, and that helps with the Fort Lauderdale backline playing so high, and their keeper obviously playing middle of their own defensive half. It's going to put a lot more pressure on Lexington in the midfield and up top as well to deal with an extra number.
Kat Asman directing traffic on this restart. Long ball sent high over the top. Simpson got the initial header. Shea Moyer just misses Taylor Ulmer, and here comes Nia Mache. Good work back defensively from Lexington. That's a Bourgeois, one of the most exciting outside backs in the league. Ella Simpson tracks it down. Another player that Allie Rogers had great things to say about, telling us she's been phenomenal for us and just has this overall confidence on both sides of the ball. The definition of a two-sided player, which was exactly what they were looking for this offseason.
Yeah, they want players that are athletic but are also confident on the ball. She said she's always scanning. She knows what's around. She reads the game so well. She stepped into this team in August, has made an immediate impact on the defensive side, just being such a presence in those aerial duels, but also she's an asset in the box as well. She scored 2 goals. We talked about it in the open. Just a key player for this Fort Lauderdale back line.
Jules Grosso sends it out of bounds. A throw in for Lexington. And they'll get another opportunity as we get a look at Allie Rogers, the new head coach for Fort Lauderdale United in her first season. Prior to Fort Lauderdale, she coached at Dartmouth from 2018 to 2023, at FGCU as well. Sarah Griffith got a foot in there, but it'll be a goal kick for Fort Lauderdale. And there's head coach Misaki Hemi for Lexington in his first season as the head coach. Had a successful stint as the interim head coach for the Chicago Stars in the NWSL prior to making his arrival in Kentucky. Taylor Smith plays it out wide to Gordon. Tati Fung, the former Fort Lauderdale United player, fending off Fort Lauderdale. She finds Griffith.
It was a great turn by her. She felt the pressure from behind and just took that one touch to spin her player.
Stella Nyameche plays it up. This ball looking for Locklear. Here comes Ekic with space. Ekic plays it through to McCain. McCain on the end of it, but loses her footing. Patty McCain looking to continue the goal scoring in this Lexington-Fort Lauderdale matchup.
What a beautifully weighted ball by Ekic right on the front foot of Addie McCain. Splits the entire back line of Fort Lauderdale, and that just touch got away from her a little bit.
Tonight's Lexington SC corner kicks are presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. We talked about it. 6 of Addie McCain's 14 league goals have been scored in these Lexington-Fort Lauderdale matches. 5 last season, 1 this year. She wants to add to that tally here this evening against her former club. Ball sent in. Headed out by Fort Lauderdale. Fung collects. Griffith serves it back in. And it was Hannah Schartz looking to get on the end of it.
You see the smile on her face after that one, but just a great moment for Lexington right there, and that's what we talked about. And one of the keys, can they finish their moments in front of net? She had plenty of time to bring that ball down and maybe slot it home with her foot or her knee. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as it goes in the back of the net there. That one's just a little awkward angle to head it in.
This Lexington team, while they might be undefeated through 7 matches so far on the year, they only have 2 wins, both coming at home, as Hannah Johnson moves this ball forward. Bourgeois to Griffith. Griffith looks towards goal, sends it into the bleachers. Sarah Griffith making her 8th start, has 2 assists on the year.
One thing about Lexington, they will take shots from anywhere. Fort Lauderdale needs to be aware of that.
Lexington putting the pressure on deep in Fort Lauderdale's half of the pitch. Shania Gordon working around Ekich. Those two very familiar with each other. Gordon initiating the attack. Was looking to target Kelly Van Treek. Throw in for Fort Lauderdale. That's exactly the danger that Gordon poses now in the back line for Fort Lauderdale. Locklear tracks it down. Fort Lauderdale on the ball. This ball deflected off of Asman. It was Jasmine Hamid.
That's the work rate from Locklear that Lexington has to have their eyes on. She chases this ball down. Lexington thinking it was going to go out of bounds, and then Hamid just picks this ball up, missed tackle in the 18-yard box, and this was almost an opportune chance for Fort Lauderdale to put themselves on the board early.
That look came out of nothing almost. I think Hannah Johnson thought it was going to roll out of bounds easily, but when you've got Kiara Locklear tracking it down, nothing is easy. You have to make sure you see it out of bounds. So number 8, Stella Nyamache, will send it in on this corner. Ball played in, hits the side netting. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Sounds like we've got a great crowd on site tonight from Lexington. Love hearing those little voices chanting LSC. Here's the little girls in green, you could say.
That's so cute, and they look so excited to be there. Thursday night, school's out. Perfect place to be is a soccer match.
So our head official, Rachel Sweat, blows the whistle as a player hit the deck in the middle of the pitch. She'll blow it once more. th minute from Lexington SC Stadium between Fort Lauderdale United and Lexington SC. We sit scoreless. We've had a couple of exciting moments and spells of possession so far. And Fort Lauderdale will get a free kick inside Lexington's half of the pitch, just near this sideline.
A few words were exchanged there between Bourgeois and Nyamechi. Referee just wanting to make sure that everything was clean.
Instead of going forward, Fort Lauderdale will work it around the back line. As you see Bella Hara once again Pushed off her line. Gordon gets it. Far sideline. Can she get around Johnson? She can't, but it'll be a corner kick for Fort Lauderdale. Shania Gordon started and played in every match last season, had 5 goals, 4 assists, was a 2-time Team of the Month honoree. Earns a corner kick for the away side. It's Taylor Smith set to take the corner. Smith sends it low into the box. Bourgeois unable to clear it safely, so another corner kick coming for Fort Lauderdale. Smith once again serves it into the box, gets past Asman, sent forward. Gordon long ball over the top. Shania Gordon waving her arms, wanting a call there from our head official, Rachel Sweat. Lily Nabet has had some words here in these first couple minutes. Just a physical battle here between her and Sarah Griffith.
I wouldn't want somebody on my back either like that, but just trying to protect the ball, trying to win that battle in the middle of the pitch just to gain possession right there. Ref's gonna have her hands full tonight, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. Bourgeois can't stay on her feet as Jasmine Hamid takes 2 hands to her back. Pantuso plays it forward. The former Brooklyn player made her way to Lexington this offseason in the flurry of new additions. Bourgeois looking for a target, plays it up to Griffith. Fort Lauderdale just can't get it out of their half of the pitch right now. Tati Fung going up against her former teammate. So Hannah Schartz will call off Bourgeois, and we know why. Schartz has one of the best throw-ins in the league. It may not be a flip throw, but it certainly can go far, acting as a set piece almost.
It's like a superpower to have her on your side for services like this off of a throw-in.
Schartz throws it into the 6-yard box. Lexington got a head on it, and it'll trickle into goal! Lexington SC on the board early. All thanks to the Hannah Schartz throw-in. We were just talking about how important those throw-ins are from Schartz.
What a service into the box, and then just a little flick of the head and it goes in. Just the confusion in the box is enough for this one to trickle through. Hera just couldn't see it after all the bodies in the box were in front of her. Didn't get a good hand on it. The back line for Fort Lauderdale trying to get that one out of the box, but what a way to put yourself on the board for Lexington.
Well, that Lexington SC goal is presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. The home side on the board early. Misaki Hemi telling us they needed to be more clinical in the final third. And they do so there off the Hannah Schartz throw-in. Still waiting for confirmation on who that hit off of to get into the back of the net. On the replays, it looked like it might have been Taylor Ulmer, but we will get that to you. But one thing we know for sure, it all started with Hannah Schartz and this throw-in that she's about to get another opportunity at.
Throw-ins are so important. You cannot take a mental break on these restarts at all, especially with a throw-in like hers where it's a dangerous, like you said, set-piece moment.
Rachel Sweat having a conversation with some of the players in the box for both sides. This ball into the box, headed out. And the official will call for a goal kick for Fort Lauderdale.
Look back at this goal and just tips off everybody, and it's gonna be Moyer who's credited with it in those final touches at the end where she just slides, trying to deflect that one into the back of the net. Like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to be pretty and it doesn't have to look like a traditional goal for it to count.
Yeah, all that matters is it goes in the back of the net. So Shay Moyer, in her first start of the season, gets her second goal on the year. You can see there Lexington, 2 wins so far on the year when they score first this season.
That's also something that head coach Masaki Hemi wanted his team to do, is get that first goal, get ahead early on in this match, and then protect that lead. Obviously add more to the score sheet, but have that shutout type of mentality. And for them to get on the board like that so early on in this game, it's a huge confidence boost, especially when it's been chippy early.
Again, Fort Lauderdale being challenged to get it out of their half of the pitch. Lexington not making it easy. Beautiful ball sent out to Shania Gordon. Gordon pushing the pace. Nabet. Out to Grosso. Miscommunication between Grosso and Hamid. So in the 17th minute, Lexington, the home side, gets on the board. Griffith looking forward. No one home. Bella Hera shoots it forward. And Van Treek tried to head it down to Gordon. It'll go out of bounds. Cheers to local beer. West 6th Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of Lexington Sporting Club. Find their locally crafted beers all around the state of Kentucky. From the flagship West 6th IPA to Sixer Light Lager, there's something for everyone. Head to west6.com to visit one of their dynamic tap rooms and learn more about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Bourgeois turns it over. Meche was looking to the far side of the pitch.
Fort Lauderdale just really rushed in how they're trying to play right now. Lexington doing a really good job of closing space with their press as well. They're all shifting to one side of the field, closing down the areas where Fort Lauderdale would normally try to play through and play one-touch, two-touch soccer. They're really having to make them think and make those unforced errors.
This Lexington team is coming off a 1-1 draw versus Carolina. It was Addie McCain's 97th minute goal, the second latest goal in league history. That was able to get them a point at home. But Misaki Hemi telling us it was really the first game where they felt like they were challenged on both sides of the ball, especially in the first half, and ultimately they found a way to pick up a point, but he said credit to Carolina, they had a really good game plan against us. They continue to just take one game at a time, and scoring early certainly helps things. Naya Meche hits the ground hard, but Rachel Sweat says play on.
See time of possession for both teams. Interesting, I felt like Lexington would have had the upper hand there.
Addie McCain plays it into the box. Sarah Griffith finishes, and Lexington is up 2-0. Sarah Griffith picks up her first goal of the season thanks to a beautiful ball into the box from Addie McCain.
And this ball, once again, it originally started from a throw, and Addie McCain just puts herself in a great position, beats her first defender with a little tap of her touch, and then Grosso nowhere to be found on that back line. Griffith just taps it in. The other half of the back line for Fort Lauderdale was so pushed towards that front post. They didn't see Griffith just trailing in behind. Easy tap in for Griffith, and Lexington up 2-0 here, halfway into the first half.
Bella Hara had allowed 7 goals this season leading into this match. That number reaching up to 9 now. Well, that Lexington SC goal is presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. Sarah Griffith, one of the new faces on this Lexington squad this season, among many. Able to get her first goal of the season. Addie McCain with her second assist on the year.
Coach Hemi told us in our call with him that this Fort Lauderdale team hasn't seen Lexington at their best. In that first match when they played each other, he said they were a little bit dysfunctional. They weren't really knowing who they were as a team yet, trying to figure out their style of play and mesh all together. Now at this point in the season, he said his team has grown so much. The conversations that are had within the team have been fantastic. They're not happy with the 2 wins that they've had, but they've grown each game, and this match so far has been all Lexington.
And for a lot of teams in the Gamebridge Super League this year, there has been a mix of old players, returning players, and then new faces added to squads. And for this Lexington team, they completely revamped their roster. Shay Moyer, one of the few lone returners, a poor ball into the middle of the field. Shay Moyer taken off her feet by Bella Hara. And that'll be a red card shown to the Fort Lauderdale keeper. Man, oh man, does that change this match.
Fort Lauderdale just looks shaken up right now. Moyer collects this ball, and Hara tries to block it with her feet, knowing that she's outside of her box, but she was the last defender for her team right there, and going to be a red card for Fort Lauderdale. It puts them in a very precarious situation, already down 2.
And now they are down a player, and it is Easily one of the most important players on the pitch. It's your keeper. Earning a red card, now has to step off, so it looks like they're gonna make a change. It'll be Haley Craig, number 30, now in net for Fort Lauderdale. So Haley Craig has not played a minute this season. She will be called upon to finish out the rest of this match. That's going to ask some questions for Fort Lauderdale. Another position player is going to have to come off the pitch.
And already in a spot where Lexington is all over you right now, I'm interested to see where they take a player off of the field from. They need the help in the back line right now. Lexington is flying with numbers forward. In the midfield, they haven't really connected at all, but it's a place they have to be locked down and maintain possession of the ball.
So Lexington is up 2-0 here in the 29th minute, but if you're just joining us, Fort Lauderdale goalkeeper Bella Hara was the last offender, got into a tackle with Shay Moyer, was issued a red card. She'll have to step off the pitch and she will no longer be able to play in this match. So number 30, Haley Craig, will come on.
But for Hara, there really wasn't anything that she could do in that moment except try to tackle. She was outside of her box. She knew that Shay Moyer was going to either dribble around her or chip her, and the only thing that she could do was go to ground there and try to win the tackle. She ends up fouling her instead, gets that red card, like you mentioned, because she was the last offender.
So you see that subsequent sub for Allie Rogers in Fort Lauderdale. Jules Grosso now off. That's the position player they're going to have to play without. Haley Craig will play in net, but just as a reminder, now Fort Lauderdale only playing with 10 players for the rest of this match. They have got a long way to go in this one against a Lexington squad that is already up 2-0. So a free kick just outside the box for Lexington. Misaki Hemi calls upon Amina Ekic. As she steps to this ball, sends it towards goal and right over the crossbar.
What a strike for Ekic, though, searching for that top bins. Beautiful curve on the ball, just doesn't get the dip that she wants on it, but why not go for goal in that situation right there? You're the prime position with confidence flying high right now.
LSC fans, visit lexsporting.com to get your latest Lexington SC news, merchandise, and discounted ticket offers. That's lexsporting.com. Pantuso just gets a touch on that one. Locklear was coming in hot. Amina Ekic deciding what to do with it. And gets caught in between two Fort Lauderdale defenders. Another free kick for Lexington.
Such a tough spot for Fort Lauderdale to be in right now, because you don't want to have a defensive mindset because you're down 2-0, but you have to be because of the offensive pressure that Lexington is putting on you, and you're down one player. I'm very interested to see how the rest of this first half plays out and how they change their style of play.
Amina Ekic serves it into the box. Fort Lauderdale got a head on it, so it'll be a corner kick for Lexington. This is a Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. So Fort Lauderdale will have a lot of questions asked of them now on how they defend these set pieces with a player down. Lexington goes short. Ekic gets it right outside the box. Hard service backside. Griffith. Out to Pantuso. And a goal kick for Fort Lauderdale.
Great work defending there for Fort Lauderdale in their own 18-yard box. Bodies flying to the ball, closing down the space and putting pressure on Lexington, not allowing them to get a free shot there.
This ball unable to get out of bounds. It was Ella Simpson that came in to make sure that Amina Ekic couldn't get a foot on it. Ayameche looking for Van Treek. Two players get tangled up. Bourgeois and Van Treek. Let's get a look at what happened here.
Both players just going for the ball. Bourgeois just came in and ran right through her. I'm glad both players aren't injured on that play.
No kidding, that makes you cringe just watching it back, especially with where their legs were positioned going in. Both coming in hot into that tackle. A couple of free kicks now for Fort Lauderdale. They've opted to play it backwards. We talked about her in the open. Kiara Locklear leads the team with 4 goals, tied for 2nd in the league. We haven't said her name too many times here this evening. Allie Rogers telling us she's just that Energizer bunny. She's never seen a player with that kind of drive and engine, the relentless effort, not only offensively, but her work rate defensively as well just separates her from players. She does so many great things for this Fort Lauderdale side, and hopefully she can get things going, but certainly going to be a challenge now down to 10 players as Ekic called offside.
When you pair her lethal ability up top with her defensive presence as well, then you add in the fact that she's just a humble player who wants to learn and grow. There's not much more you could want or ask for out of a player like Locklear.
Haley Craig sends it wide. Van Treek can't collect.
But for Lexington, shutting her down was a main point for them and a key to their success in this match. I mean, knowing what she can do in possession and without the ball at her feet. And they're doing such a good job right now of just cutting her out of the buildup and not allowing her to get on the ball.
And Meche finds the feet of Locklear. Locklear looking for an outlet. Griffith wins that battle. Sarah Griffith holds on to it. She's got Moyer on the far side. Addie McCain. Moyer, top of the box. Moyer towards goal. Just misses on the far side. Shay Moyer, who is making her first start of the season, getting plenty of action in the first half.
She's playing so free. As soon as she gets the ball at her feet, she looks so comfortable, looking up to try to slip Addie McCain in there, decides to take that one herself, and why not with all the confidence right now? It almost goes in, but such a pleasure watching her in this match so far.
Misaki Hemi told us in our conversation this week with the substitutes, and Shay Moyer has been a substitute for the majority of this season, obviously making her first start tonight, but he talked to us about the norming and the storming phases. It's becoming more of a norming phase for these players. This ball played forward to Jasmine Hamid, who looks across the box. On the end of it was Van Treek, and she misses on the near side. Quick turn of events for Fort Lauderdale as they finally get a look on goal.
That was the best opportunity that they've had in this match. And Shriek just could have taken a touch, maybe read a chapter of a book there, was all the way on her own at that back post area. A little bit rushed to try to put that one away, but for Lauderdale, a little bit of a momentum shift here as later on into the second half, knowing that they're down a player, have to be conservative with how many numbers they fly forward. That one a prime opportunity for them.
Well, fans, visit lexsporting.com to shop at the Lexington SC Team store, your one-stop destination for all of the latest LSC gear and official merchandise. Purchase kits, scarves, hats, and more to show off your club pride. That's lexsporting.com. Gordon gets rid of it quickly. Going back to our conversation about these Lexington substitutes, he was telling us the subs are closer to taking on bigger roles, and we're seeing Shea Moyer get into the starting lineup tonight, and he told us it makes our job harder as coaches, having to make these decisions every single week, and Shea Moyer making the most of her opportunity as a starter here this evening.
To have that type of competitiveness at practice and in training, so it makes it hard for a starting 11 to be made, is exceptional.
Schartz with another long throw in. Cleared out by Fort Lauderdale.
He also told us that his team is just so focused on getting better every single day. They're such a process-focused team, and when you take that type of mentality on the training ground and you put the product of it onto the pitch, you're seeing the success in which how they play together and how they're talking to one another. They just want the team to be successful, and it's not about the individual at Lexington.
Meche. On loan from Gotham. Simpson. Up to McCain. Wasn't able to get a foot on it. Haley Craig comes off her line. Well, hometown fans, why go far when the best stay is right here at home? Embassy Suites Lexington Green is your go-to spot for a weekend staycation, a night out, hosting meetings and events, or out-of-town friends. Local, loyal, and always game day ready. '41st minute at Lexington SC Stadium. Jade Barquette, Bridget Howard with you this evening. Lexington on the board early. They pick up 2 in the first half. Bourgeois somehow keeps that ball in, sends it across the box. McCain there. Moyer wanted a rip. This Lexington side continues to knock on the door. Easy for any team in the Gainbridge Super League to break down this Lexington back line, but certainly going to be a challenge for this Fort Lauderdale side, who is now playing with 10 players on the pitch after a red card was issued to goalkeeper Bella Hera. This Lexington defense has allowed just 5 goals this season, 4 clean sheets.
Haven't given up a goal since their last match against Fort Lauderdale. Coach telling us once again that those chances that teams are getting off them are from their own mistakes. So if they clean up those unforced errors, there's not a lot of teams that are going to be able to score on Lexington at all.
Well, and it's scary to think that this is a team that sits undefeated right now in the Gainbridge Super League, and they have yet to hit their peak offensively. It's a scary thought.
It makes you think about, what is their peak? What could their peak possibly be? And against this Fort Lauderdale team who has been riding high most of this season, also unbeaten. Lexington comes, or Fort Lauderdale comes to Lexington. Lexington on their home turf, exceptional. Puts 2 away early on in this match. Really makes Fort Lauderdale uncomfortable as we near the halfway point of this season. It's going to be very interesting for Lexington and how this shakes up the rest of their year.
Hannah Schartz with another long throw in. Trickles to the backside, Sarah Griffith! Add another one to the night. Griffith with a brace. It's now 3-0 Lexington before the half.
Hannah Schartz right now is racking up assists. This ball floated through the top of the box. It was flicked on, so she won't get accredited with the assist on this one, but Griffith all alone, the entire back line of Fort Lauderdale watching the ball shifting as it was coming over. That lack of player on the field leads to them not having another person in the box to mark up, and Griffith just taps this one in with the inside of her foot, passes it right into the side netting.
Sarah Griffith having herself a night. She came over to this Lexington squad this season from the Chicago Stars. Spent her college days at Purdue, was the Big Ten Forward of the Year, earned All-America honors, and still ranks first in a handful of goal-scoring categories at Purdue. Jasmine Hamid got caught up by Pantuso. You can see Pantuso pleading her case. Rachel Sweat having a conversation with her. What do you see here, Jade?
Definitely gets her legs there. Going to be a foul every time. She's lucky that it wasn't called in the box, very close to the edge of the 18-yard box. She did do a good job of positioning her body to keep Hamid on the outside, not allowing her to go end line or cut inside, but that's going to be called a foul every time.
46th minute, we'll get a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time added to this first half. But before we get to halftime, we're gonna have a free kick just outside the box. We'll turn to Stella Nyameche, who has 1 goal and 1 assist to her name so far this year. A big moment for Fort Lauderdale, who is playing down a player in this match. Nyameche loops this ball towards goal, but right into the arms of Kat Asman.
Not sure that was the service that Nyameche was wanting there on that free kick. If she had a player running through the gap, maybe it would have been a better ball for a deflection. That ball going right in to the hands of Lexington's goalkeeper.
Bourgeois keeps it in bounds. Nice tackle from Jasmine Hamid. Hannah Johnson. It's around Taylor Smith. So Lexington has gotten the better of Fort Lauderdale in this first half, up 3-0. Thanks to goals from Shay Moyer and 2 from Sarah Griffith. Nabet deciding what to do with it. Tati Fung plays it out of bounds.
Nabet just not having a lot of help there to try to combine on this near side. She had Nyameche down the line, but there was no one there to help her get through the middle.
Taylor Ulmer I don't think she gets enough credit in the central midfield for Lexington. Does such a nice job switching the point of attack. Free kick just inside Fort Lauderdale's half of the pitch. They go short. So great first half from Lexington. In the battle of the final two remaining undefeated teams, and that'll do it for the first half. Jade, it was exciting if you were a Lexington fan, not so exciting if you're a Fort Lauderdale fan. What are your thoughts on this first half?
Very chaotic for Fort Lauderdale. They haven't been able to get into a rhythm, even when they did have 11 players on the field. They just need to settle down, figure out a game plan now, down a man, and with so much time to play. Also being down 3 goals, but for Lexington, confidence has to be through the roof right now. They are connecting so well. Their speed of play is fiery. They're going into tackles hard. They're winning the ball back as soon as they lose it. There really isn't a lot to fix right now with Lexington, just to not take their foot off the gas.
Yeah, Masaki Hemi had told us in our conversations that the mentality going into this game, he wanted them to just have a fierce mentality every single minute. Are you seeing that? Do you think he's seeing that so far in this first half?
Absolutely, and I think the whole stadium's seeing it as well.
Well, it looks like we're joined now by Sarah Griffith, who had a brace in the first half. Sarah, your first goal of the season, then you just wanted to keep adding to it. You pick up your second. What did you see on those opportunities in front of goal?
Yeah, I just trusted my teammates. They were going to get there, and I had to hold my positioning and just finish what they created. So, yeah.
Fort Lauderdale down a player now. How do you guys continue to exploit that with a man up?
Yeah, this game is nowhere close to being over, so we just have to keep the ball player style, be calm on the ball, but so hungry to get more.
All right, well, Sarah, thank you so much for the time. Congratulations on your first career brace. Hope to see more from you in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's Sarah Griffith, who had her first career brace. In the first 45, Lexington is up 3-0 at the break. You're watching the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock. Stick with us. We've got more for you right after this.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
Believe in hope, in willpower, in work, in seeking, in screening, in knowing, in treating, in dedication, determination, and we're getting through this whatever it takes. In bravery, in breakthroughs, in beating the odds. Believe in a cancer-free future for all of Kentucky. Believe in Markey.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
Welcome back to Lexington SC Stadium. It's halftime between Lexington and Fort Lauderdale. The Gamebridge Super League is introducing a new series called Be Here. Our first piece features Spokane Zephyrs' Sophia Braun. Let's take a look.
I started playing soccer from a really young age. I was just happy to be out there and kicking a ball around. I'm so grateful for soccer and my experiences there because it's really allowed me to reconnect, I think, with my mom's side of my family, and I've gotten to get to know family that I probably wouldn't have if it weren't for those international experiences. The World Cup was incredible. Like, I don't think there's enough words to describe how amazing it was. It was really special, I think, as well, coming off the men's team winning the World Cup and then kind of getting to see all the support just around the world for Argentina soccer was so special. It's definitely an experience I'll never forget. Scoring a goal was something I'll never forget. Actually, the Copa America tournament was really special too. Just being able to represent my country and have my mom in the stands and be able to play in front of all those people and just being able to experience another culture and experience soccer in another culture has been so amazing for my game. I've just learned so much, and I think I'm able to take all those experiences on any team I'm at, and especially here in Spokane, which has been great.
It's halftime at Lexington SC Stadium, and the home fans are excited. We've had quite a few goals in the first half, and they've all been for the girls in green. Let's take a look back at the first half highlights as Lexington is up 3-0. Her first career brace, her second goal of the night. And here's a look at the halftime stats. And we both were a little bit surprised at this in terms of possession. Fort Lauderdale winning possession, the possession battle 56% to 44%. A bit shocking.
They've also had a lot of opportunities off corners, a few in the run of play. Obviously, Lexington winning in the shots category. They take so many from all parts of the field in all of their matches. But like you mentioned, a little bit interesting about the possession. They're going to want to keep that as well in the second half.
Well, Sarah Griffith told us there's still a lot more game to be played. So don't go anywhere. Second half coming up next here in Lexington. Lexington SC up 3-0 as we get set for the second half between Lexington and Fort Lauderdale. It's been a fun-filled first half for Lexington fans as they saw 3 goals, 2 from Sarah Griffith. Second half, here we go. Lexington moving from right to left on your screen, Fort Lauderdale left to right. Former Kennesaw State and UCF defender Jade Barquette, Bridget Howard with you on the call this evening from Lexington SC Stadium. Lexington moving up the pitch. Shea Moyer serves it out to Mina Ekic. Ekic, the reigning Gainbridge Super League Player of the Year, making the move from Spokane to Lexington this offseason.
She tried to go 1v1 there with Shania Gordon, who her coach, Allie Rogers, telling us she's one of the best 1v1 defenders in this league. It's going to be hard to get by her. She locks her up there.
So one substitution at the break for Fort Lauderdale United. It's Princess Adamaluyi taking the place of number 23, Taylor Smith. Adamaluyi, one of those players on loan from Gotham FC in the NWSL. Had stints with West Ham, debuted for them at 16 years old. Alyssa Bourgeois on the far side, looks to Sarah Griffith, who we saw had 2 goals in the first half, her first career brace. Lexington not taking the foot off the gas here in this second half. Kiara Locklear, she isn't either, working back defensively. Tati Fung served it into the box, but our head official, Rachel Sweat, blew her whistle. The play died.
A couple of the players for Fort Lauderdale wondering why that one wasn't called a little bit earlier. Late shove of the elbow from Fung into Locklear, who won the ball off of her.
Tati Fung, one of those interleague transfers this offseason, making her way to Lexington from Fort Lauderdale United. She started every match this year, which has already surpassed her minute total from last season with Fort Lauderdale. She picks off that ball in the midfield. Good switch from Lexington, out to Bourgeois. Denied by Hamid. Denied by Hamid once again. Griffith serves it into the box, and Haley Craig comes to collect. If you're just joining us for the second half, we told you it was an exciting first half, not only for Lexington fans as they saw 3 goals from the home team, but for Fort Lauderdale United. Halfway through that first half, a red card was shown to goalkeeper Bella Hara as Amina Ekic plays it to the backside. Sarah Griffith keeps it in.
Beautiful looping ball.
How about the moves from Griffith? Right into the hands of Haley Craig. So Bella Hara was issued a red card as she was the last defender. So Fort Lauderdale playing with a player down for the remainder of this game. Lexington Sporting Club is thrilled to offer Lil Kickers, a nationally acclaimed youth soccer program built for children ages 18 months to 9 years. Sessions start September 27th. Sign up at lexsporting.com/youth. Hannah Johnson switches it to the far side. Jade, as a former defender yourself, we have to give credit where credit is due for Hannah Schartz and her long throw-in and how much of an asset that is. We've talked about it a couple of times, but for our viewers and our listeners, like, how challenging is that to have a throw-in of that caliber?
Oh my goodness, it's so hard. The stretching and the range of motion that she must have in her shoulders is impeccable and so impressive. I can barely like reach my arms all the way back. So very impressive from Sharts, but it just adds to her repertoire and what she brings to this team. Not only is she a fantastic center back and commands the central part of the defense for Lexington, but she's also an asset up top. She is giving the ball every time that there's a throw in their offensive half and can put the ball in the 6-yard box and basically in the back of the net for that first goal, and only was deflected by Almer, but so impressive to be able to do that. I think I tried to do a flip throw maybe once and it ended very poorly, so we didn't try that again.
Certainly something to take account if you're a young player watching these broadcasts, and Hannah Sharts, to be able to have that in your back pocket to separate you as a player. Not only is she a great defender, but to be able to have something like that to separate yourself is massive. So stretch your arms, kids.
Soccer just isn't about your feet.
Tati Fung hits the ground. A bit too hard on that tackle from Naya Meche. As a look at our head official, Rachel Sweat. She's been busy tonight.
Extremely busy, especially in that first half. Players tackling one another, kind of like football players a little bit.
Saw it a few times.
She's also been letting them play though, which I appreciate in those moments as well.
Almer connects with Ekic. Addie McCain unable to hold on to it, but Fung has her back. Fung turns it right over to Locklear. Tried to slot it up to Princess, but turns it right over. And we're seeing a lot of that in this match. Hands to the back, players hitting the ground just on those hard tackles.
Both of these teams have that relentless mentality to win the ball back as soon as they have lost it. So it's not surprising that those tackles are hard and gritty when they do come.
Kiara Locklear. A lockdown battle with Hannah Johnson on the near sideline. Johnson joined this Lexington club from Angel City, made her NWSL debut back on June of 2025, earlier this summer. That ball just sneaks through, hits off Hamid. It'll be a goal kick for Lexington. Well, introducing the LSC One membership, your season ticket to every LSC men's and women's home match in 2026, all-in-one package starting at only $21 per month. Become a member today at lexsporting.com/memberships and unlock free tickets to every remaining 2025 regular season home match. So Jade, at the break, we were talking about the possession battle and how we were a bit surprised at the numbers leaning in favor of Fort Lauderdale. Well, that has shifted in the early goings of this second half. Lexington now winning that possession battle 52% to 47%.
I'm sure that was a conversation in the locker room at halftime with head coach Masaki Hemi about his team's patience in the build-up. Now that they're up 3-0, can they keep the ball more, protect the pace of the game, dictate it, and then go to goal when they find those chances?
Locklear loops it over the top. Griffith once again finds it at her feet. Lexington in no rush, but still moving forward. They set up 3-0 in the 55th minute.
For Lauderdale having to go to a low block right now in their press, not only being down a player, but with the scoreline right now, needing to protect the ball, needing to protect the space in behind. Giving Lexington a lot more room as they build up in their defensive half.
It's probably the best way they have to go about things, especially not wanting to wear anyone down and having a player down and not wanting to wear everyone's legs out. Low block is what they're going to have to do. So Shania Gordon with the throw in on the near sideline. Shea Moyer finds herself with the ball just outside the box. Wanted to slot it through to McCain. Fung takes a rip. Goal kick for Fort Lauderdale.
Take another look at it here. Fung kind of just shoving Nyamechi down, and then Moyer trying to slip this one through. I bet not playing fast enough, this ball getting picked off, and then Fung trying to rip that shot again from outside of the 18-yard box.
We've talked about this Lexington offense quite a bit tonight. It was a focus for them to be more clinical in the final third and make the most of their opportunities, which they have so far in the first half and throughout this match. It's Tati Fung slots it up to Addie McCain. Cleared out by Fort Lauderdale. Griffith wins it back, headed out by Ansbrough. And this is where that player down for Fort Lauderdale is really showing out. Locklear wins it back. Locklear with pace. She has Hamid on the far side. Solid defensive work from Lexington to deny that opportunity.
Hamid was wide open on that left side. Back line for Lexington, closing space, not allowing Locklear to drive through the middle. She would have just slipped that to Hamid maybe a second earlier. We would have had a clear chance on goal.
Fort Lauderdale, they're going to have to make the most of their opportunities, being down a player. And Locklear just held on a bit too long. So a foul in the middle of the field. Going in favor of Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale restarts. It's Gordon on the near sideline, looking for help. Just uncertain play from Fort Lauderdale right now. They turn it over for a Lexington throw-in. Lexington lining up a few substitutions. Masaki Hemi wanting to make a couple changes.
I said subs brought the energy in their game versus Carolina. Hoping for them to raise that level of play as well here against Fort Lauderdale.
Tati Fung having a breakout second half as she looks for McCain. Hansbrow denies that opportunity. Nabet gets a touch, turns it right over to Ulmer. Ekich. Bit of back and forth action here at Lexington SC Stadium. Hamid on the far side, taking on Pantuso. Hamid towards goal, rolls wide. So Masaki Hemi decides to make a change. It'll be number 2, Hannah White, coming on for Sarah Griffith. And number 15, Catherine Berry, on for Shea Moyer. Both the goal scorers from the first half. Sarah Griffith, we talked to her just before she headed to the locker room, picking up her first career brace this evening.
Just beautiful finishes by her. She found herself at the right spot on the pitch and just really having to tap both of these balls in. The service from McCain and then Charts again on the throw. Easy finishes for Griffith. She does it with grace, but then told us at halftime this team wasn't done. There was still 45 minutes to play. They're not resting on that first half and looking to get more here in the second half. These subs are going to raise that energy for Masaki Hemi's Lexington side, and they're ready to add some more goals to the score sheet.
Well, if you want more goals, to bring in a player like Catherine Berry is certainly what you want to do. Catherine Berry, this is the first game of the season where she hasn't started. Coming off the bench this evening, she has 4 goals to her name this season, both braces. So when she's scored, historically she's gotten 2 in a match. So we'll see if she can continue that scoring trend here against Fort Lauderdale in the second half.
She was also a part of that September Team of the Month. She's so dynamic. She'll test the goalkeepers with shots all over the pitch, but she'll also be unselfish and feed her teammates when they're in the right spaces too. She's great at creating those chances.
This is an offense that has been a bit inconsistent in the last couple of matches, you could say. Outside of their 6-1 win at home versus Dallas Trinity, they had only scored 1 goal in their last 5 matches, and it seemed as though it's just been a flurry of scoring for them in the games that they have been able to score. So this looks like it's another game where they got a couple goals on the board, and the offense has looked good here this evening.
With that many shot attempts, 120, it's not from lack of trying to score for Lexington. They just haven't been able to find the back of the net. They've been doing so well at combining in and around the box to try to put the ball away, but back lines and good goalkeeping, missed opportunities for them really have just not allowed them to add multiple goals in a match. But they've found a way to pull out of games with points and not lose, which gives the team confidence as well going into these matches against Fort Lauderdale. We know it's going to be hard.
Shania Gordon getting into the attack. Lexington clears it, but not enough to get past Locklear. Meche out to Gordon. Gordon Versakic. Meche service into the backside, punched out by Asman. Came flying in like Superman. Great job by the goalkeeper.
And that's what you need out of your goalkeeper, with Fort Lauderdale threatening to put the ball in the box. Asman making great saves on both attempts there from Fort Lauderdale, making her presence known, commanding her box.
Kat Asman on loan from Orlando Pride this season. Played at Penn State. Has only conceded 5 goals this season, 4 clean sheets so far on the year. So much space for Lexington right now, with Fort Lauderdale playing with a player down. Ekic cuts it back, but Allie Rogers told us Shania Gordon, one of the best 1v1 lockdown defenders, and you see it there.
Just her footwork, the way that she's so tight to the player, doesn't allow them to get touches around her. She sets her feet and does so well to poke the ball away.
This ball lofted just outside the top of the box. Fung gets ahead on it. Gordon pushes it forward. So Hannah Johnson was going for the ball, but it was right in the path of Princess Adamaluyi.
This ball got cleared out by Gordon, and then a 50-50 chance up there with Adamaluyi, who just kind of ran into her there. I don't think there was any malicious intent in that foul, just trying to get around her, honestly, and get to the ball.
So a free kick coming for Lexington. Hannah Schartz set to take the free kick. Schartz into the box. Haley Craig way off her line. That ball sent towards goal, cleared out by Ansbrough. Hannah White tracks it down. Sixth minute now. Lexington up 3-0. Thanks to goals from Sarah Griffith and Shay Moyer. The Gainbridge Super League season is in full swing. Visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com for all the latest information, analysis, and insight into all things Gainbridge Super League.
This is the first moment here in the second half where Fort Lauderdale has had a spell of possession, trying to move it around the back, using their back four to get higher up the field, but Lexington once again closing down any space that they are trying to make in the midfield. Obviously that helps the man up.
Ekich stays on side, pulls it back, McCain finishes. Addie McCain against her former club gets on the board this evening with her 5th goal on the year.
What an unselfish play. Again, this ball started off of a throw-in combination play. Ekich just picks up her head. The corner of her eye finds McCain all alone right around that PK spot. She knew the angle for her own shot was going to be a little bit difficult. Craig, who's all the way out of her side of the front post, slips it perfectly in to Addie McCain, who just finishes beautifully into the net.
So in the 67th minute, Addie McCain adds to this Lexington lead. They're now up 4-0. Her 5th goal of the season, Ekich's 3rd assist. Ekich plays it into the box, Barry there, taken to the ground. That foul in favor of Fort Lauderdale. That Lexington SC goal by Addie McCain is presented by Clark's Pump and Shop. That has to feel so good for McCain, just to keep adding to her goal-scoring resume, but especially to do it against her former squad.
Absolutely. Of course, every time you play against former teammates or your past club, you play with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, wanting to maybe play the best game of the season against them, but she continues to score against them, which is huge for not only her confidence, but also her team's, knowing that she's on their side instead of Fort Lauderdale's this season.
Addie McCain now 2 straight matches with a goal. She also picked up an assist on a Sarah Griffith goal in the first half, so an all-around great performance from Addie McCain this evening. We've still got plenty of time in this second half. Get the latest Lexington SC news right at your fingertips by downloading the official mobile app powered by Fan 360. Get access to exclusive content while shopping for season tickets and LSC gear, all in the Lexington SC Fan app. Fort Lauderdale has it at the top of the box. Turned right over. McCain opted for the long ball. Pushes it out of bounds. So Addie McCain last season was on the Super League All-League first team, had 10 goals and 2 assists during her time with Fort Lauderdale United. Started and played in 30 matches. A seasoned vet in the Super League, you could say. She just continues her great scoring prowess in this match here this evening. Amina Ekic wins it in the midfield for Lexington. She gets tackled from behind by Jasmine Hamid, who will be issued a yellow card.
I thought Jasmine Hamid was going to foul her, honestly, a little bit earlier in that play. Ekic dribbling straight through the central part of the pitch as Fort Lauderdale was trying to recover back. She had the opportunity to foul her a little bit earlier on in the play, a little bit farther away from their goal and in Lexington's defensive half. She did get a yellow card there, picked up after that foul from behind.
Yeah, that yellow card is brought to you by Hicks and Funson. Some more subs for Lexington now. Number 5, Maddie Perez will take the place of Alyssa Bourgeois. And Mackenzie Weinert will replace Amina Ekic. Weinert making just her 2nd appearance of the year. Hannah Schartz with the free kick. Weinert denied by Nabet, corner kick coming. This is a Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. So Fort Lauderdale, I would argue, looks a lot more settled in this second half than they did in the first. Obviously, it appeared they were a bit rattled, as would anyone, with your goalkeeper going down with a red card, playing down a player. They've settled in nicely in the second half, despite giving up a goal to Addie McCain. But a corner kick on the way for Lexington now. It's Tati Fung. Fung shoots it to the far side. Schartz got a head on it. And Tati Fung a bit too rough on there as she was working to win the ball back. Naya Meche took to the ground, and it'll be a restart. Fung will get a yellow card.
Battle there for that ball. Nahimeche and Fung in pace and stride with one another to battle for it. Fung going for Nahimeche's body rather than the ball. And that will be called a foul and a yellow card.
Another yellow card brought to you by Hicks and Funson. This time it's Tati Fung. Ansbrow.
She's been such a defensive presence for Lexington. Tati Fung has in the midfield in this match. She's going into tackles hard, really winning those individual duels. But then once she gets the ball at her feet, she does so well to facilitate the game. She finds herself in spaces and pockets to receive the ball to play forward. And really just a workhorse for this Lexington team.
She's emerged this season. We didn't get to see a lot of her last year with Fort Lauderdale. She played in 21 matches, only started in 460 plus minutes on the season. And as we said earlier, her minutes this year with Lexington have already surpassed her total from last year. She's emerging as a solid midfield player for this Lexington side. Weinert wins possession up top, going against Gordon. Shania Gordon. Can't say enough about her defensive work rate. She's been excellent here in this second half.
She's doing absolutely everything that she can. She's doing her job, locking down in 1v1 battles. And you saw her after that tackle just kind of lift her hands up, trying to invigorate her team to get the energy higher, play for something. This game is not over yet. They can still crawl back if they dig their heels in and work, but she's just doing everything that she can right now to be the energizer for this Fort Lauderdale side.
Another Commonwealth Credit Union corner kick. Fung will have another crack at it. Low into the box. Perez was there. Just got too far underneath it. Well, Lexington SC fans, your Gainbridge Super League team will be back at home on Friday, October 31st in our match against Sporting Club Jacksonville at 6 p.m. Come celebrate the Halloween festivities with our fan favorite $1.50 beer night. Be sure to purchase your tickets now at lexsporting.com/tickets. I'm sure that will be a rowdy crowd.
Oh, absolutely.
Fort Lauderdale making some substitutions. We'll get those to you in just a moment. Nia Meche takes to the bench. So goal kick coming for Fort Lauderdale. So Madison Komaski, excuse me, on the pitch now for Lily Nabet. Catherine Gonzalez in for Nia Meche, and McCarthy now in for Hamid.
For Lauderdale with these subs looking to add some more energy in the midfield and up top, knowing that the legs of their forwards and midfielders are tired right now, working down a player, but also having to do a lot of defensive work.
So another throw in on the way for Hannah Schartz. '78th minute. She goes for the short throw in here. Tati Fung sends it to the backside, and it finds the back of the net. Catherine Berry adds to the Lexington lead. The flag stays down. And we're seeing the impact of those substitutions in the second half for Lexington.
Bridget, that was an impeccable goal. From the throw in with Schartz, they go short to Fung with a perfect service right to Catherine Berry's foot. I mean, you couldn't have drawn this up any better. Fung with a ball that has no spin on it, drops right into Berry's pathway, and she just hammers that ball home. Welcome to the pitch, Catherine Berry.
Welcome to the pitch. She's no stranger to it. In the 78th minute, picks up her 5th goal of the season. That is not an easy finish whatsoever.
The ball did not drop to the ground at all. The service from Fung was perfect. That partnership right there was beautiful. The chemistry that this team is playing with right now is out of this world.
Love that celebration. You could see the chemistry there. Alyssa Bourgeois beyond excited for Tati Fung. So just as Fung puts a dime on the foot of Catherine Berry, she takes to the bench. It's Justina Gaynor now on for Lexington. And that goal from Catherine Berry is presented by Clark's Pump and Shop.
It looks so effortless from her too. I'm still thinking about it.
It's certainly going to go on the highlight reel for Catherine Berry. So Hannah Schartz, we saw a short throw in on the last throw-in opportunity that she had that led to the Catherine Berry goal. Will she go long here? We'll see. But one thing's for certain, her throw-ins have made all the difference here this evening. Schartz, long ball into the box. It bounces. Fort Lauderdale threads it through. Locklear on the near side, finds it at her feet.
Take another look at this goal. Schartz elects to go short. Fung picks her head up, sees Berry, who's unmarked, and then just a rocket stuns Craig, who didn't move. I think the Fort Lauderdale defense thought she was offsides. Nobody took a step backwards, and they were arguing it after the play, but Catherine Berry, how difficult is that to position your body to just smash that ball as it's coming across your body is even more difficult.
I don't know if you could see it from that angle, but there was a lot of movement on that ball from Tati Fung. The pace at which it was played to the backside, but not only dealing with that movement through the air. That's why Catherine Berry is one of the best finishers in the league. This ball gets over Kat Asman. Fort Lauderdale is on the board.
McCarthy, one of the subs for Fort Lauderdale, picks this ball up and then just rips a shot from way outside. I think it took a deflection off of her own teammate. We'll take a look at it here. She takes a touch, and it does deflect off of Lexington as this ball is whipped into the, it's off Schartz's shoulder and back into the net. Just like that. It only takes one, and Fort Lauderdale is on the board in this match.
So Fort Lauderdale finds the back of the net with a little help from the shoulder of Hannah Schartz. It's now 5-1 at Lexington SC Stadium. Still a large mountain to climb for Fort Lauderdale United. Lily McCarthy, number 15, one of those late second half subs for Fort Lauderdale. Only played in 2 matches this season. She gets Fort Lauderdale on the board. We want to take a look back. It was a bit of a chaotic spell here.
McCarthy just picks the ball up, doesn't even take a look up, and rips this shot. I thought it had originally gone off of Princess Adamaluyi, but it had gone off Schartz's shoulder, as this one was almost in the box too. Craig having to come out, try to make a save there, but it goes past everyone. And that's the beautiful game of soccer. It only takes one moment for you to get back on the score sheet. To take another look at the long ball here. This one floated in the box. Gonzalez trying to get a body on it. It does go long, and it will be a goal kick for Lexington.
On that initial goal, Asman was just caught way off her line. I don't think anyone anticipated that McCarthy was going to rip a shot from that distance, but she does.
And why not? When you have the space and you're dribbling right down the middle of the pitch, might as well.
And that is just the 6th goal conceded by Lexington this season. Rachel Sweat blows her whistle. Free kick deep inside Lexington's half of the pitch. Well, stay up to date with the Gainbridge Super League. Sign up for the Super Newsletter. Get news about your favorite team and stories from around the league delivered directly to your inbox weekly. Sign up at GainbridgeSuperLeague.com/newsletter. Feels like we can almost take a breath now, and I'm sure that's going to be an announcer jinx here in a moment, but some crazy spells of possession. Kiara Locklear, the first to this ball on the far sideline. She threads it through. Van Treek gets a touch. Addie McCain works defensively to win possession. Barry looks forward. You can see Shania Gordon telling her group, let's go, let's go. We've seen that a couple times now from her in the second half.
That's what you need out of your captain, to tell your team to keep fighting. Don't put your heads down. Don't look at the scoreboard. Play the game. Try to get as many opportunities as you can to put the ball away.
The last time these two teams met was in the season opener back on August 23rd. It ended in a 3-3 draw. That was a back and forth affair as well. It started with Daria Rajai in the first half off of a set piece. Then Kiara Locklear had the second goal to start the second half. And then it was Lexington. They came back and scored 3 unanswered until a Shania Gordon foul in the box. Hamid converted on a PK. But tonight it has been Lexington from the first whistle. But a sign of resiliency from this Fort Lauderdale team to be able to put one on the board late in this match despite being down and despite being down a player.
It's so tough to go down to 10 players so early on in the first half, like it happened here with Fort Lauderdale, especially with your goalkeeper, Hera, committing that foul the way it happened. It was just so unfortunate, and it really just took the wind out of their sails in that first half. But for them to come back and battle like they have here in the second half, yes, Lexington has a few goals in the second half, but they got one back. They're playing better soccer. It's a testament to their grit and their relentlessness to never stop playing until that final whistle.
Hannah Schartz is going to need to ice her shoulders after this match, the amount of throw-ins she's had. Hannah White gets called for the foul after getting tangled up with Ansbrow in the box. 88th minute, Lexington up 5-1 over Fort Lauderdale United. Heading into tonight's match, these were the last two teams undefeated in the Gainbridge Super League this season. And if the score holds, which it would be a miraculous comeback for Fort Lauderdale, but if the score holds, that undefeated streak for Lexington will continue to 8 matches. Weiner went in for the tackle a bit too hard. Free kick for Fort Lauderdale. McCain lays it off for Kat Asman. Ball played out wide. Lexington with space, it's Hannah White. Moves it up for Barry. Barry takes on Simpson. Plays it into the box. Mackenzie Weinert looks towards goal. Denied by Haley Craig.
Lexington is not taking their foot off the gas at all, no matter the scoreline or how much time is left on the clock. Weiner had time to compose herself there. She does, and takes that ball low and on the ground, trying to slot it by Craig.
Similar to a spot where she scored in the first meeting, Weiner came on as a second half sub and scored the equalizer in the 69th minute in their first meeting this season. Lexington's back line has been solid all night. Ball sent to the far side. Hannah White looking for an outlet. McCain. Out to Perez. Perez sends it to the backside. Weinert was there. So a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time here in the second half. 92nd minute now. So Lexington will get one more home match coming up on Halloween against Sporting Jacks. And as for Fort Lauderdale, their undefeated streak will come to an end here this evening in Lexington, but after this one they return home to play Brooklyn on November 1st before hitting the road again against Carolina Ascent and DC Power. This is a big match for Lexington with 3 points here this evening. We'll jump up from third place to first place. We talked about how this match would count. Big 3 points at home for Lexington.
We talk about games that you look back on at the end of a season that are really season defining. This might be one of them for Lexington.
No doubt. Lexington picks up 3 points at home, and you can see there's a look at the live standings. They jump up to first place. 14 points now in the Gainbridge Super League. Amina Akic, Sarah Griffith elated. A big win at home.
And they should feel elated. They were dominant this entire match from start to finish. They never took their foot off the gas, and that X factor was really Hannah Schartz and the throw-ins and how dynamic they were able to recover the ball at the top of the box and slip each other in, making their entire team look really good tonight.
So a big win at home for Lexington. They beat Fort Lauderdale 5-1 on their home pitch. We've got more for you coming up right after this. Well, heading into this match tonight, it was a battle of the unbeatens, and Lexington continues their undefeated ways. They pick up a win at home, 5-1, a dominant performance against Fort Lauderdale United. Well, the X factor in this one, Jade, has been Hannah Schartz. The long throw-ins have made all the difference for this Lexington team, especially tonight. We're joined by Hannah now.
Hannah, I just wanted to know right off the top, do you have a warm-up routine for your throw-ins?
I try to do a few throws before every game, but nothing specific. Just get loose before the game, and hopefully I can throw it as far as I can during the game.
Hannah, head coach Misaki Hemi told us leading into this match this week that this group wanted to be clinical in the final third. It's not because you guys haven't had the chances, it's just you've needed to be able to convert them. Tonight, you pick up 5 goals. You were a huge part of them. Talk to me about how this offense was able to open up this evening.
Yeah, I think we're just absolutely lethal when we can score early, and if I can do anything I can to help the team win, whether that's throw-ins or set pieces, then I'm happy to do that. But we have so many different threats up top, and we can score in so many different ways, and I think tonight was a good example of that, and just being hungry in the box was a huge key for us this game.
Going into your next matches, how important was this match in terms of execution in front of net?
Very important. Just going against the 2 top teams in the league, we're happy to be sitting in first now and to be the only unbeaten team left. And we just had a really good mentality going into it. I think we try to approach every game like it's a championship game, but this game just really felt different for us, and we were ready.
Well, Hannah, thank you so much for the time. We certainly enjoy watching your long throw-ins. We don't know how you do it, but we love watching them. So congratulations on the win. First place now for this Lexington team. Thanks for the time.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Well, it was a fun one tonight, Jade. We had a lot of fun calling this match, and Lexington, they got on the board early, and it was all thanks to Hannah Schartz throw-ins all night long.
It was impeccable to see from the start. They just found a way to score. Almer there with a little tip off of her pink ponytail, and they just kept it going the whole first half.
And here again, Lexington, they just continued to win possession in good spots on the field. It was Addie McCain with the assist to Sarah Griffith.
Sarah Griffith just was impeccable tonight, finding herself in the right spots, splitting the defenders. Addie McCain once again contributing to the goals for this Lexington side.
And then in the 27th minute, Shay Moyer looked like she was going to be able to get a look on goal, but Bella Hara, the keeper for Fort Lauderdale, came out, was the last defender, and was issued a red card by our head official, Rachel Sweat.
That was really the turning point in this match when that happened. So unfortunate for Hara there. She did what she had to do, but that did not stop Lexington whatsoever. They took advantage of the fact they were up a player, new keeper in goal. Hannah Schartz once again, long throw, a flick over the top, and then Griffith once again just slotting this ball home, her first brace of the season.
They continued their scoring ways in the second half. In the 67th minute, this ball finds its way into the box. Amina Ekic works around her defender and lays it off beautifully to Addie McCain.
Ekic just finding a way to push off her defender. She says, "Get off me," finds McCain right near the PK spot, who passes it home beautifully.
78th minute. Again, it starts with a Hannah Schartz throw-in, but Tati Fung, put it on your highlight reel, put it on Catherine Berry's foot for this incredible finish.
It just shows the different ways that this long throw can be implemented for the best. They go short there, find Catherine Berry. The Lexington team was just beautiful in their finishing tonight, but Fort Lauderdale was not going to go away easily. McCarthy, a super sub, comes onto the pitch, gets a deflection off Schartz's shoulder, and puts her team on the score sheet with this goal.
The final score, 5-1 Lexington. The girls in green have now scored 12 goals in their last 3 home matches, conceding only 3 in that span. Here's a look at the full-time stats from tonight. Lexington ends on top in the possession battle, 55%. That was a conversation we had all night long.
Yeah, this game was also really chippy throughout the entire match. You see each team earning a yellow card. They also were just going at it on the defensive side. Shania Gordon locking it down once again in that 1v1 matchup in the back, but Lexington really overpowered Fort Lauderdale after that red card.
A massive win at home for Lexington SC. Could this be the jump start they need to continue this incredible run they've been on? Now 8-match undefeated streak for the girls in green, now sitting in first place in the Gainbridge Super League standings. From my partner Jade Barquette, our producer Emma Watson, I'm Bridget Howard saying so long from Lexington. Final score 5-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.